Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm AJ.
I'm Vanessa.
And we are Thecalisefamily. What are we doing today?
Today we are doing a how we met video.
Ooh.
I feel like we have a pretty unique story, and a lot of people who hear our story tell us, wow, that sounds like it could be a movie or a book.
Man, you guys are so young.
Well, they never, whatever. So we thought that we would share our story with you for those people who don't know us or who maybe met us later on. Maybe some of you do know our story already, but we thought that we would share it with everybody.
Of course.
Our anniversary recently passed, so we thought it would be a good idea to do a how we met video. We're being completely honest, 100% truth to our answers. We have a couple questions that we wrote down, so we're just going to go ahead and answer those. Friends and family, there's going to be a couple names or pictures maybe of you. We apologize if you feel like you didn't look your best, but hey, the what is it? The glow up was real. You look 100% better now. But just for the sake of the video, we wanted to put some pictures, real life pictures from back then, also in our video. So there will be some of those. And what else? If you like this video, or if you want to see more videos like this, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to follow us on our journey as we continue on. And
if you have any questions that we haven't asked, don't hesitate to ask. You know, we're always down to answer.
You ready?
Nope.
Let's tell our story. Once upon a time. Why are you wearing your hat like that?
Gangsta.
No, you're not.
Like those. Like this. There it goes. Okay. Anyways.
Ready?
I need a haircut, you guys. Look at that. Wow, so soft. So the first time I met Vanessa, I was about, I want to say between 5 and 7. She came to our house that we used to live in San Pedro on 15th Street, and her mom came and she came. And the first time I seen her, I was just starstruck. I mean, she was just this. To other people she might just be this chubby little girl or whatever, but to me she was just like first time seeing beauty. And I think that it was at that time I knew that I was like, in my head I'm probably saying, oh, I'm gonna marry her, but I didn't really think I was gonna marry her, but I married her.
Okay. Okay, so the first time I seen AJ, according to our moms, who have known each other for a very long time, we have known each other since we were about like 4 or 5, but I don't remember him then. The earliest memory I have of him is probably when we were like, I don't know, 7 or 8-ish, and that's honestly just going off of pictures, I think. So I just don't remember him. I guess I'll say like 7 or 8.
Yes, I've always liked Vanessa, but I always felt like I also loved her.
Did I always like AJ? No.
It's hard to say because my emotions were I love her, but I had to tell everyone, oh yeah, I like her, but I was like, I liked her, and like I said, I've always she was just so beautiful to me. Honestly,
it's so like unbelievable. Like when I hear him talk sometimes like that, like I don't believe it. And it's funny because like I have cousins or like friends who say, yeah, he always did, I remember. And I'm kind of like, what? I don't know. To me, like back then I was like chunky and like not cute at all. When he started liking me, I was in my not prime days. I was like my chunkiest probably. And I don't know what he's seen, but to me it's kind of like, no, like, really? But he swears that he liked me for a really long time, and I'm just blown away by how much he did, I guess. We're about 14 or 15, and I started to notice, like, he kind of stood out in the little, like, group of guys that we had at our church. He was, like, funny, he was nice, he was super silly. Hey! But, like, super down to earth, and everybody liked him because, you know, he was such a sweetheart. And so I started to notice, like, this guy is actually kind of cute. Like, he's so, like, silly that he's actually kind of cute.
Like I said, I didn't like her. I loved her because she was an outgoing person. She was a lot of fun. And the thing I started noticing is that, like, the way she communicated with people, she was very smart. She was taller than everyone. And I was the second tallest in our group.
I had mentioned to one of my friends, Vanessa Baca, shout out to Vanessa Baca for the hookup. I shared with her that I thought he was cute, and she went and got the scoop for me.
She asked me, hey, do you like Vanessa? And in my head, I'm like, yeah? Why? But deep down I was like, yes!
And came back saying yes, he did think I was cute too. So we just, you know, back then in the 90s it was like, do you like me? Check yes or no. So we just kind of did the whole, like, note passing, and she was our little messenger, and she'd go and give them to, because back then my parents were super strict. Like, there was no talking to boys back then.
Just shout out to Vanessa Baca for hooking us up.
After AJ and I found out we liked each other, we both started trying to get, like, really close to each other's families. Like, he had a little sister at the time, so, like, she was my BFF, and we were, like, super close. I was always like, oh, here, I'll hold her. Oh, here, I'll watch her for you. Oh, here, like, made her fall in love with me so that I could have an excuse to, like, be close to his family. He did the same with, like, my cousins and my brother. And, like, my uncle, when he came from Pennsylvania, he was all like, you know, at the time I was like, oh, this is my uncle from Pennsylvania. So he's all trying to get buddy-buddy with him. And we were just trying to, like, any way we could get in good with each other's family. Like, you know, whether they were, like, siblings, uncles, cousins, whatever. We couldn't really hang out because, like I mentioned, my parents were super strict, and so we didn't hang out at the time. But we literally just went through our whole relationship. It's like Vanessa was like our third wheel. She was like the third person in our relationship because we passed notes through her, we messages through her, like, everything was through her. We had our code names. I was Shoes. No, he was Shoes, right?
I can't remember. I think I was
New York.
I was New York.
Okay, so he was New York and I was Shoes. So I've never been to New York in my life, but anything I could find that said New York, I was buying. A purse, a shirt, a bracelet, whatever. I was like, I love New York, I love New York, but really it was, I loved AJ, I loved AJ. And so he was like, I love shoes, because it was like our own little, like, code thing that we could get away with nobody knowing that we liked each other, or so we wouldn't get in trouble. It was like on the hush hush. And so, like, and my parents didn't even have any idea, but, like, that's how cheesy I guess we were. But yeah, I was living my best life at 15 with my first boyfriend. Thought he was a cutie.
And we would tell each other, like, oh yeah, I love shoes, or I love New York. And, you know, just give us each other code name. But we knew, because we were always with the group, so we always knew who we were talking about. And we couldn't sit next to each other at church. So what we would do is that we would write letters, like long letters, and then we would send it to Vanessa. She was our telemarketer or mail woman, and you know, she would give it to her. Yes, we broke up. We broke up because she found out that I was cheating on her. And after she found out that I cheated on her, we hadn't spoken since then, since I want to say high school time. And I guess the thing about me was that I guess when I seen all my friends and they were with their girlfriends or boyfriends, whatever, and I wanted that, and that's where I messed up, and I ended up being with someone else, and she found out, and from there it was just chaos for me. I don't know how she found out that I cheated on her.
I found out from AJ's brother. I heard a rumor from somebody first that he had another girlfriend, that he seen him all hanging out with some other girl. So I asked him about it, and he was acting kind of standoffish and ignoring my text messages and just being kind of mean, actually, like, don't worry about it, or like kind of like rude, I guess. It was like when he kept denying it. No, I'm not. I don't know who's telling you these things. No, I'm not. But then finally his brother told me, yes, he did have another girlfriend, maybe for me to just like move on. So
dang.
So that was that. It just kind of ended. I was super sad. I was super devastated. My first official relationship or boyfriend, I didn't understand why. I didn't understand what. I just thought that's what happens, I guess. I know now that at the time he just had a lot going on at home and just wanted a relationship, and I couldn't give that to him at the time, so that's just what happened.
That was like the worst day of my life. So when we broken up, yes, I did think about Vanessa a lot. I know it sounds unfair for the people that I was with, but it was just like when I seen Vanessa, when I went to church, like I stopped going to church too. But when my mom, you know, I sometimes would go with her, and I was like, oh, and then I would see Vanessa, and I'm like, dang, I messed up, you know, like she looks gorgeous, and I'm like, I wish I could go back in time. If I could, I would go.
I thought about AJ all the time, actually. Whenever I'd see his family, or very like shortly, I guess, after he and I broke up, I got with somebody in high school. And even when I was with this person in high school, I would think about AJ when I would see his family. If I would see his mom, I would ask, how's AJ? If I would see his siblings, I'd be like, my heart would skip a beat. Is AJ around? When I drive down this block, I'd be like looking for him. So I've always thought about AJ. Like I would always ask his mom, like, how's AJ? And she'd be like, he's fine, mija. Kind of like, move on. But I always thought about him. I always wondered like what he was up to, if he thought about me. And that was even though I was in another relationship. Like, I guess you just kind of never forget like your first love. And so I just always thought about him, that as, I don't know if that's wrong or not, but I did. So it just so happens that I was in a 4.5-year relationship and he was in a 4.5-year relationship, and they both ended at like around the same exact time. And sorry, I'm kind of getting over being sick. They ended around the same exact time, and we both were just available, and we kind of started talking. I think he had like messaged me on Facebook and just like apologized for everything in the past, because we hadn't talked since then. Like we literally since 16 to like 23, I think it was, we hadn't talked aside from like seeing each other and like looking at each other, and like, I don't know, it was like really, it was like the tension was there. Like we knew we still liked each other, or like I knew I kind of secretly liked him. I didn't know he still liked me, because he played it off like, he wouldn't even like look at me. He'd be like, so I didn't know that it was like kind of like a mutual thing. But aside from all that, we started, after he messaged me, of course, I wanted to, at least be friends.
I Facebooked her, I think it was Facebook or something. I Facebooked her, and because I apologized to her because I felt bad, because I'm like, I'm sorry that I did all this. You know, it was kind of like getting off my chest. And from there, she accepted my apology, and we didn't start talking, but I was going to school at that time too. And then I asked, because she was an English major, and so she would help me with my English homework, because I sucked that out. And from there, we just kind of like became friends.
So then he kind of like, you know, started coming to church, and then kind of started messaging me here and there, and he's cuter now than he was back then, and just looking like a little hottie. So he was like, do you want to hang out? I could really use, I said no. Then he's like, I could really use a tutor. I had just got my bachelor's degree in English, so he's like, can you tutor me? And so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll meet you at the library. We went to the library, and I tutored him, and he claims he was like trying to flirt with me and like throw little pickup lines up, but I didn't even get that feeling at all. I just thought it was AJ being AJ. So I tutored him, we went out for sushi after, and honestly, the rest after that is history. We just picked back up, I guess.
So for our first date, of course we needed a chaperone, of course. We went to Disneyland. It was for my birthday too. We went to Disneyland. At that time, I wasn't a big Disney person. I didn't really care about it, but the fact that I knew that she liked it, I was down to go. You know, I had fun. It was cool seeing the little characters. So one of our good friends, Jessica, went with us, and from there, like, she would like be with us. We took pictures, we had fun, we were with the characters. And yeah, that was our first date. It was a lot of fun. We were there till like all night.
We went to Disneyland, and she went with, I think she like knew we liked each other, so she went with us to Disneyland to kind of like be our like Cupid, I guess, like, yeah, I'll go with you guys. So she went with us, and I love Disney, like absolutely love Disney. So for me, I was like, yeah, let's go. And we just had a good time together, all three of us, and we kind of just got to get to know each other, like, since, I mean, we haven't seen each other for like all these years, but to be around each other in that kind of setting, like, it was a lot of fun, and we enjoyed each other's company. And, you know, with the fireworks, and Disney sets the mood, so it was just like, it was just a fun time together, so.
She was doing a Christmas play or a Thanksgiving play. I made for Thanksgiving, I made her a house. I made her a house for her play, and then for Christmas, I found like all these Christmas trees and everything for her because she needed them, and I would do anything. Like, you need this? I got you. I'll go do this right now. You know, like, it was just like this is my chance right here. I'm gonna do everything I can, and that's how we started talking. And then for our cousin's wedding, not our cousin, we call him our cousin, but he's our best friend. He was getting married, and how I won Vanessa was with my dance moves, because he had a little dance, like little DJ over there, so we started dancing, and then and then I guess from there she started noticing me do my dance move, and that's how I swung my way to her. And since then
I was like on the fence in the beginning, like I don't know, because of just because of like the past and what had happened in the past. I was super like reserved and like on the fence still. And it wasn't until I was in charge of doing like the plays and the theater performances at our church. And so for Thanksgiving he came, and he was like in the front row. I remember I was out doing like a speech or like doing a performance, my scene or whatever, and I looked down and he's like just like staring at me, and I was like, I almost forgot my lines for a minute. And I never get nervous like when I'm public speaking, so like for a minute I almost like froze. Then the next month was Christmas, and I needed I was doing a play where I needed a bunch of fake Christmas trees, and I needed a house made for the play. And not only did he build the house for me, but he went around collecting as many artificial trees as he could for me. And that's when I knew like how much he really cared for me and how much he would do anything for me. So for me, that's when he kind of like proved himself and proved his like how much he really wanted me to give him a chance. And so about 2 months after that, or a month after that, we had a cousin of ours got married. And honestly, what sealed the deal was AJ's killer dance moves.
Since then I still got the dance moves.
Like he was like pop locking, and like he had his little suspenders on, and like, you know, it was like he totally won me over, sealed the deal. That's it. Where do I sign? With his dance moves. And so that's pretty much what won me over.
After our date, we dated for about 2 to 3 years. Of course, we had our ups and downs, you know, rough patches. Who hasn't? But I wasn't gonna let that stop me, because it's my only chance, my second chance. So I proposed to her at the 3 years, and that day was embarrassing for me.
We want to see the video.
You don't want to see the video. I was so nervous, and so after that, we've been engaged for about 1.5 years, and then from there we got married, and we've been married ever since, and here we are now making a video.
Has it been?
2 years now, almost 3 now.
It's been 3, babe.
Has it been 3?
Yeah.
God,
wow.
I'm 1 year short. I'm telling you, see, this is how fun it is, because it feels like we're still brand new. Let's see. I say 2 years because it still feels fresh, of course, but she goes 3 years.
Nice save. You know, we had a couple rough patches. There were still some uncertainty at times. We went on and off. But we both knew that we really wanted it to work this time around, because it was like like, how often do you get another chance to be like again with your first love, like your first your childhood, not high school sweetheart, childhood sweetheart. Like that's like, dare I say, it's like it is book material. And so for me, like for both of us, like we both just really wanted it to work this time. And even though there were times where we thought like it's not gonna work or it can't work or whatever, like we pushed through and we made it. And about 3 years after we were dating, about 3 years after we were dating, AJ proposed. It was the most cutest proposal ever. I told him that if I ever got proposed to, I would want my friends and family there. I would want a Disney proposal because I'm a big Disney person. And it was the cutest Disney proposal ever. if you guys want to see that video, comment in the comments and we can put that video up for you guys, because it was just, honestly, it was the best Disney proposal ever. And after that, we were engaged for 1.5 years, and then we got married. And now we've been married for, oh my gosh, 3 years. It went by so fast. Like, we're having so much fun being married, and like sometimes we even say like, I hate it, but we sometimes even say like, I wish we would have found our way back to each other so much sooner, so we could have had more time together. But the past is the past, and honestly, all you can do is move forward. And we're just enjoying our time together and all the things that we're doing, and just like living our best lives. And you know, who knows, babies might be in the near future, maybe, but
yes.
But I'm just really happy to be back with my childhood sweetheart, who I love so much.
There. I'll sit back here.
Well, that was close. Arigato.
You do this stuff.
I used to work at Benihana's for like 3 years, guys. That's the only 2 words I learned. Arigato. So thank you guys for watching our video. We hope you guys liked our story. We hope you guys liked hearing our story. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment below. Don't forget to give a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you guys can see the rest of our story.
And if Disney gives us a shout out or whatever, I mean, like, you know, they want to know our story again, you know.
Oh yeah, if you guys want to hear our engagement video, we did record that, so that we do have a video. Let us know. We could post that too. It was super cute. AJ got 5 stars. So yeah, just, I guess, we can't wait to see your comments, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.